The Genesis account of creation makes an extraordinary claim about how humans were created. In the story, God is creating the entire world by basically calling it into existence. So, for example, God is saying, "Let there be light," and there is light. "Let there be all kinds of creepy crawly things," and there are all kinds of creepy crawly things. But when the human person is created, that is Adam, God does something extraordinary. What the text describes is that God gets very intimately involved in the creation of the human person. So instead of just calling it into existence, God actually takes some mud and kind of forms this creature, and then he blows into its nostrils. And if you think about that imagery, it gives you a sense of the kind of intimacy that is involved in God creating human persons. That the very breath of God is the very first breath of the human person. That the breaths of human persons, which after all is most internal to us, actually is our life-giving principle, that very first breath comes from the very breath of God. Very beautiful imagery. It really sets the stage for something remarkable. The other thing that the story says is that the human is created in the image and likeness of God. Now, unfortunately, when we use these words in English, we fail to actually fully appreciate the depth of meaning that was contained in those original texts. Because after all, when we think of an image, let's say, we think of something that is a two-dimensional image, but is not actually that thing being presented to us. However, in the Hebrew scriptures, when they say the word image, they use a different word, and that word is tselem. Now, the word tselem actually doesn't simply mean like a two-dimensional image. You can see here on my PowerPoint slide, like that bunny that is there, but is actually, in fact, something that which makes present that which it is imaging. So as an example, if you think of the bunny example that I have there, that bunny, as we look at it, is not actually in fact present. It is represented on your screen, but it's not actually present. You don't smell it. You don't fully encounter it. You are not in the presence of a bunny. However, the word tselem means that you are in the presence of that very reality that it signifies. And so when God creates the human person in God's own image, what that says is that God's very presence is somehow a part of that reality. Very, very deep, very, very rich meaning behind it. The word likeness, similarly, has a much deeper meaning. The word likeness uses the ancient Hebrew word demut, which actually means an internal relationship and similarity. And so what it is immediately highlighting is that that there is a personal relationship that is at the core of that being. So think about that for a moment. The human person, if the human person is created in the image and likeness of God, it means that the human person makes the very reality of God somehow present within her or himself, and that human person is created unto this intimate relationship. That is the purpose, that is the guiding life principle of that being. If you accept that, then you accept that all human persons somehow have an inviolable dignity. That is a kind of dignity that can never, ever be gone against. You accept that humans are not just another creature among many. We're not just another creature like you've got dogs and cats and birds and fleas. We are not, as he uses the Latin word primus inter pares, not just the first among many, but that rather humans are an extraordinary creature, that they are an extraordinary created reality by God. I believe that of the many ideas and concepts presented by John Sachs, this one probably has the most ramifications on healthcare ethics, Because if you accept this idea that every single human person, no matter where they come from, no matter what they look like, no matter what they have done or not done, that every single human person is somehow created in the image and likeness of God, that they have this inviolable dignity, that they are not just another creature among many. If we accept that, then all of our decisions ultimately have to be made through those lenses.